Laughing at Strangers podcast, literal shit.
Your mom's a hoe. He does not have a PhD.
She's gonna go to prison and have sex with a man.
She loved her nephews, Jack and James.
Airborne, take out a yield sign. This is great, I'm going to jail.
What the fuck do you want me to do?
You can call me Daddy Khaleesi.
I reckon if I have to.
Oi! This is Laughing at Strangers podcast. And I'm Steve.
And I'm Cody.
Yep. We all know that. No one gives a shit. But welcome back to, what is this, 18th episode?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, we're getting there. And if you hear any kind of background noises, our animals are in the room with us because we cannot leave them in the other room because they would not shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And the cat is just practically climbing the walls.
Yeah, the cat is having an Indiana Jones moment, and she beat the boulder.
Yeah.
That's what just happened.
Yeah, and before we continue, a stupid part in my brain, like I normally sometimes do. I just want to, I was talking to Cody about, we was doing our taxes, and I needed to spell the word Virginia.
Yeah.
And I said, honey, I can't spell Virginia. And she goes, well, how did you spell it? And I said, well, once there was a bonus question on a test in high school, and I spelled Virginia. Like, I say Virginia, and she goes Virginia.
Yeah.
So I spelled Virginia, Fagina.
Vagina.
Yeah, but it's Virginia. Virginia.
He spelt it how he said it.
Yeah, so I sounded it out, and you won't believe what grade I was in. I think I was in 12th.
No, I think you were like in 10th grade.
I don't know, but it was Virginia, and I wrote it down on a test, and I got back, whoa!
The question was, bonus question was, what state do you live in? And he put vagina, and didn't get the extra point, and also got a note that said, whoa,
yeah.
Close.
And spelled it correctly for me and marked out the word that I spelled.
Yeah.
And if I start doing something weird or going off track a lot, I'm on this new medication my doctor gave me.
Yeah.
And I really don't know what the name is, but I can tell you this. She told me the symptoms are sleepiness and dizziness. Well, we looked up the symptoms, and they're rare symptoms, but they happen to me. It is psychosis and hallucinations.
Yeah.
I figured that the hard way.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that in a minute, but we just want to let you know our week's been pretty good. Just basically been fucking around. I've been bedlining the bottom of the Jeep so I can fill that shit with water.
Yeah. Yep.
And today we let Cody drive it. Well,
yeah.
we let Cody drive it.
We let, and do you have a mouse in your pocket?
Yeah, I know. It's what it feels like. Yeah, we drove the Jeep. She drove the Jeep. We're kind of getting her used to 5-speed. She can drive it, but she's not really.
It's been a while since I've done it, so I was trying to learn the Jeep and how its clutch is.
And it can't be taken on the road yet. Tires are bothering shit. So we basically just went to the field and then to the backwoods.
Yeah, we just went on our property.
Yeah, I took a video. It looks like we're out in the middle of nowhere, but we were right there.
It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. And she done really good. She stopped on a hill and took off.
Yeah, it was really nice. He when I first started, because I had never really taken off on a hill in a vehicle that was manual. On my own yet. Like, we normally drove with the vehicles we practiced on here when I was a kid. It was just a Volkswagen Beetle, and we just, like, drove it back and forth straight. Like, there was no ups and downs, no nothing. It was just get as fast as you can go and then slam your brakes. Yeah. So, when I was going the hill the first time, and he was explaining it to me, I didn't do it fast enough, and I rolled back a little bit, and he was like, you hit a car. Good job. You hit a car.
I mean, if she was at a light and there's a car, because cars these days get up on your ass at a light. And if you let it roll back a little bit and they hit you, they're going to get out and be mad at you or do something these days that just practically fucking stab you.
Is that bitch ass?
Yeah. And news about the doctor. I went to the doctor, I think, like Thursday. And she told me my back is basically broken. So, yay for me. She dumbed it down for me. She said something about my pointy part on my spine. It broke. It's broken too. And now the bottom vertebrae is moving inward. And then basically, everyone I've talked to, they said there's a chance I'll possibly go paralyzed.
Yeah.
When I'm older. So, yay for me. I won't have legs.
You'll have legs. It
yeah.
just won't
And
work.
There's a chance I can have surgery, but most likely I can't afford it. And there's a chance I can have shots to get rid of the pain so I can live with the pain, but most likely I can't afford it. I have shitty insurance, if you haven't noticed so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's work insurance, and I don't pay it, so it's good to have.
Yeah, I mean, it's not shitty because of the company. It's shitty because of health insurance is shitty.
Yeah, really. I mean, if you want good health insurance, you're going to have to pay out the ass.
Yeah.
And this company pays for me, so you can't complain about that.
No.
Yeah, so that's damn
nice
good.
of them to at least do that.
Yeah, and it's nice to have when they had, like, that fine if you didn't have it. Damn, my computer's making fucking sounds.
Yep, volume. Turn it down.
Yep, and I took the pill right before I done this, and I'll tell you exactly what happened and what it usually does.
He's already moving his feet in circles.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It makes me fidgety.
Fidgety.
Yeah, fidgety.
Fidgety.
I can't fucking say it. But, okay. Well, because when I first got the pill, here's the whole story. And whatever I say is 100% true.
Yes.
And I probably have a lot of explaining to do when I go to work. Go back to work Monday.
Yeah.
Basically, the doctor told me to take the pill. Don't take the pill at work, because Thursday I was going back to work after the doctor. And
He didn't mention that to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she said at first.
Yeah.
To see what it does to you. I said, okay. Well, I took it when I got home, and it made me a little sleepy, almost like taking some Benadryl or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go to bed. And I slept really good. My back didn't hurt that night. Well, I woke up in the morning. I'm like, well, the pill wasn't so bad. So I'll go ahead and take one this morning. Well, I took one this morning, and the last thing I remember is fussing at Cody a little bit by speeding on the back roads, and then I blacked out until I got home.
Yeah.
And I'll let Cody tell you what happened in the morning.
Yeah, so what happened was I realized I was going a little bit too fast on the back road, or at least in his taste I was going too fast.
Just when she goes really fast around curves, I gotta buy like new tires. I mean, it's more for her safety.
No, well, that's not how it came across. But,
okay, it was I blacked out the entire fucking day.
I know, I know.
You can't hold it against me.
I'm not holding it against you. I'm explaining the story. You told me to explain. So, but anyway, so we were going down the road, and he always calls me when we hit the main road.
Yeah, we talk all morning.
And we talk the whole way to work once we hit the main road, because we have constant service, because we living in the boonies, we don't really have good service. So we were going down the road, and I called him, and he was just like, how fast are you going? And I was just like, well, I noticed I was going 48.
And the only reason I do ask, I'm sorry to interrupt, is because that she's bad for like not paying attention to her speedometer. So she would be going maybe like 65 on the damn back roads.
I've never gone 65 on the back
I'm
roads.
just saying, you go really fast, and then we have to buy new tires. You could hit a deer going that fast. You can go around a curve too fast and slip and go into the ditch.
This is not a lesson.
I know.
Everybody
I'm just saying.
Understands what needs to work.
I understand.
But anyway,
you're a speed demon.
So I looked down and I realized myself, before he could even say anything, before we had a talk, I realized I was going too fast, so I slowed down. And I knew he would fuss at me when we got on the main road, so I figured when we got out there, I would just say, I know, I corrected it, cool, that's it. Nope. We hit the main road, and I was like, well, yeah, I saw that, but I corrected it. I tried to fix it. I'm tired of you giving me the damn spiel, blah, 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 blah. That's when it started. I won't go into what all he said to me, but he has never talked to me this way, and he was a complete,
I never will.
Complete nutter ass. I mean, he was yelling at me. I was crying. He was yelling at me because I was crying, because I did not expect that.
But keep in mind, people, I am not an asshole. I blacked out. I do not remember the day.
Yeah, he and the reason later on I knew he blacked out was that he actually asked me at one point, "Are you trying to piss me off?" And I was like, "Who in the fuck?" And so normally, I don't get confrontational, even especially with Steve.
She gonna fucking stab me when I got home.
I just cry and calm down, because I don't want to say things I don't mean, because I've had people do that to me where they say hurtful things, they don't mean it, but it still sticks with you. So I don't do that. I calm myself down, and then we talk about it later. Well, needless to say, by the time he come through the door that afternoon, I went from how could he to the audacity of this motherfucker. And so his deathbed was prepared for him.
Yeah, it was nicely made.
Yeah. And so when he came home, I was ready to kill him, and he just went straight to the bedroom. And
usually I give her a kiss and a hug. It just, but today for some reason I went straight to the bed.
So I thought he was mad at me, which made me want to be like, okay, well, you know what? Let's try to talk it out first.
But I don't keep grudges with you. If for anyone else, I'd keep grudges till the day I fucking die.
Yeah, no, and I I can't let an argument sit. Like, I have to resolve it right then.
Yeah,
I can't
same here. Especially it's between us two.
So I go in here and he's
I feel
asleep.
it kicking in. Holy shit.
Yeah, like as soon as he hit the bed, he was asleep. And so I woke him up while I was rubbing his head. And then I woke him up. And he was like, what happened today? And I was like, do you mean the argument? He was like, what argument? And I kid you not, he didn't remember any of the day. Like, he spoke to people at work.
Yeah,
well, he thought he was dreaming.
Let me tell you this shit. Okay, well, as she was explaining to me what I said in the morning, I'm man enough to say I started crying. I felt horrible.
Yeah.
Like, I would never say anything like that to her, and I never will, and I never have.
And I promise you, he made it up the next morning.
Yeah, I made it up.
He made up for it.
It's okay to yell at her in the bedroom, but not anyone else.
Exactly.
But, so she explained that to me, and after I got done, like, apologizing profusely.
Which I told him he didn't need to, because obviously that wasn't
him. And I begged her not to hold it over my head.
I'm not.
Yeah, and, so I started thinking, okay, I remember bits and pieces. The pieces that I remembered is, seeing, like, Dory's face come out of the wood that I was working with at work. I was like, whoa. And then I remember saying something to one of my supervisors about being, like, really, like, sleepy and off because of this medication. And then he told me something, and then I told him to go F himself. And then I thought I dreamt that I talked to somebody at the front door before I got in there. And I was like, yeah, because I was running late. And then that's it. And I'm like, okay, so I called my brother. And because he works with me. And I was like, Zach, I'm on this new medication. And what happened today? And he goes, you was acting really weird today. And then he said most of the time I didn't speak. And the funny thing is, when I put tobacco in, all day I didn't spit. And he told me, I just realized that I didn't spit all day. My mouth was cotton dry. And then Zach explained to me what happened. I said, did I talk to somebody when we come there? He goes, yeah. He says it was really weird because the guy came up to us and asked us to sign a petition. And normally there's no one... Petition. Yeah. There's no one there in the... Never. That's never happened before. So I thought I dreamt it. That's the only part that I remember. Then I asked Zach, I said, did I talk to somebody? And he goes, yeah. He's asking to sign a petition for some kind of delegate or something like that. And so I told the guy that I can't. And he asked me why. I said, my hands don't work. As I wiggled them around... And then he says, what's wrong with your hands? I said, my back hurts. And then I proceed to tell this man, this stranger that I does not know, that I am high as balls right now. So, and I'm in pain. And he's like, why don't you get to go to the doctor and fix it? I said, I am. But I got shitty insurance.
Because I work here.
And he's like, okay. And then I made my brother sign my name and address while I'm wiggling my hands around.
Yeah.
Then he told me I went inside and told Chris something and pranced off. So I guess that's the time I told him to go fuck himself.
Pranced?
Yeah.
Pranced off?
Yeah.
Were you still wiggling your fingers?
Probably while I'm skipping. And then he told me while I didn't talk. And he says, I just looked dead. But I done my job, apparently, because no one told me to go home. And he said I looked dead. And, what was it? Then he said I was at lunch break. And I was sitting with him in his truck. And he said, in mid-conversation, I screamed that I had to take a shit and slammed his truck door really hard and ran inside and sat in the stool. At my station. I just sat there and looked up like... And then as soon as the buzzer went off, I just worked like I was normal. But I didn't show any emotion. I didn't...
You just showed... You said... And like...
The pill is kicking in. Like, I learned now...
I hope y'all seen what his face looked like. Because he had it all out there for you.
Well, I learned now to not take that pill during the day. And also, I happened to stop at a gas station, have a full-blown conversation while Cody's in my ear with a Bluetooth.
And you're crying.
And get a full-throttle energy drink and not even know it.
Yeah.
Don't even remember drinking it.
Had no idea.
Yeah, and she said I was emotionless and just, I guess I was the perfect worker because I didn't talk. I didn't look around. I didn't see nobody. I don't even remember the day, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to not take it.
Don't do drugs, kids, especially if they're prescribed.
They're prescribed.
That's the bad part.
But I guess I do not take it during the day.
Yeah, no, that's...
But the crazy thing is, about the medication, the side effects that I had were rare side effects. That don't normally happen. But then the nurse at Walgreens, she said, you probably should throw those away and not take them no more. And I'm like, I'm going to still take them. Because then she's like, then talk to your doctor. You know how long it's going to take me to talk to my doctor? Because I have to figure out this weird schedule we got now at work and try to go to the doctor to try to keep making money because I need to keep making money to get my fucking back fixed, but it's hard to go to the fucking doctor because you're missing time and then you can't make no fucking money, so I can't afford procedures, so it's getting crazy.
America.
Yeah, so it's hard and it's it's starting to come to the point where I'm giving up and just accepting that I'm going to be paralyzed when I'm older.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up.
But
I'm gonna give you up.
That was my day, and and then I took it. I have to take it exactly like 30 to 45 minutes before I go to bed, but I think I took it too early. I figured that maybe it wouldn't hit as quick, but I noticed this thing hits within 10 minutes. Yeah, and I'm starting to the first feeling I get would be lightheaded and kind of dizzy. Then after that, I start having a conversation with people's not there. People's not there.
People's not there.
Because I was watching a movie the other night, and then I was watching Jurassic World, and then Cody come in here, and I'm like, cause I told her, I said, honey, somebody come in here and played with my lips.
I was just like, no, I was in the complete opposite side of the house working out with headphones in.
Yeah, and
I didn't even go near him.
Someone come in there and done like up and down like one of them cartoons do the lips.
Like,
yeah, just kept doing that, but I let him. I don't know why. And then I remember having a full blown conversation with my brother Zane.
And he was asleep
about Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And she's like, who are you talking to? I said, I was just explaining to Zane.
And he couldn't open one eye. He just kept looking at me with one eye open. And I was like, what's wrong with your other eye? He goes, he's asleep.
She recorded every bit of it, but I made her delete it.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I looked nasty, and it was pitiful. And I don't like what these pills do, but they help me sleep. Because without these pills, I cannot sleep during the night without my back feeling like it's literally bowing backwards.
And that's the problem, is that he'll fall asleep in his chair, so then I have to somehow escort him from his chair to the bed.
Yeah, it's the chair is the only thing that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how my fucking week went. Yeah. And hopefully I still have a job after telling almost everybody that I was high as balls. Apparently, I did not know I was high as balls because Steve wasn't there. It was the other guy.
It was other Steve. It was Stefan.
It was Stefan.
Yeah.
How do I explain that to everyone at work? It was Stefan that was acting weird, emotionless, and telling him he's high as hell, and wiggling his hands and telling him it didn't work.
Just show him your prescription, and then go from there.
Yeah. But it does help, and it's not that I want to take them. It's just I have to take them. I can't afford to literally keep paying money out the ass to try new medication she gives me. If this works at night, I'm going to keep taking it.
Yeah.
So. I mean, apparently I'm not allergic to it or nothing. I already asked her. She said I couldn't be allergic to it. She said it's just a rare side effect. She's like, if that done that to me, I wouldn't take it no more. Well, ma'am, you may have all the money in the world, I don't.
You think that he would play the lottery and actually win, as lucky as he is when it comes to
just,
to unfortunate
I play the
things?
lottery every now and then I was like, yeah. Then I get bored of it, and then I don't play for like a couple of years, and I'm like, one day when I win the lottery. But you have to play to win it, you know?
Yeah. One time he was so sure of himself, he came home, and he was like, honey, I bought a lottery ticket, and I used these numbers. I said, okay,
it's because I've been seeing them numbers all day.
Well, I mean, I was like, why do you want to do that? And that's what he said, is I have been seeing these numbers and thinking of this exact sequence of numbers all day long. And I just can't get it out of my head. And I think it's God's way of telling me I need to play the lottery. And so he was so sure of himself, not even fucking close to one number.
Yeah, it's probably my locker number.
It was. You figured out it was your locker combination.
I think I remember my locker combination and my lunch number. We had to enter our, to get lunch, we had to enter some kind of student ID. It's almost like your social security, but it's for school.
Yeah.
And then I remember that. And then.
Or else you don't eat.
Yeah.
That's great, you know.
Yeah, that's basically how our school was.
If we don't know who you are, you don't get food.
Yeah. Well, it's because when I was younger, I got free lunch. And if you don't know what that is, that's for the poor kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, rich people have to pay for food.
Yeah.
Ha ha. And now look at me. Then we got an argument about the other day that people nowadays can't find any kind of help unless you're literally have nothing. So it's like the government takes stuff from you so you can live off the government.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, I'm doing good for myself. I'm very independent.
I don't think this is a
I'm
podcast
sorry.
for political.
I'm getting angry as I'm talking because things are pissing me off.
Let's go into the actual theme of this episode before Steve starts going ape shit.
I know. I'm like, the fucking government! It's not one of these, I'm sorry. But our theme for today is...
dumb criminals and stupid criminal acts.
Yeah, I've done a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, well, I don't know if yours are technically criminal.
I mean, I've had the police called on me before.
I mean, now it may be considered
I've talked to police officers, and I've actually witnessed something happen and actually go to court. And it was just a prank call, and that person went to court because he took it way too fucking far.
Oh, I think I remember. Yeah,
yes,
okay,
I will tell you about that. But I ain't gonna say any names or nothing. I remember, like, back when I was younger, we stayed at this one dude's house, and it's basically because, he was a good dude at the time, and he's still a good dude, and it was basically any adult supervision whatsoever. That's probably why all the kids went over there.
It's all boys.
Yeah, all boys. I mean, it was no adult supervision, because the mom worked weird hours, so she was never home, and there was no father there. So that was pretty cool. I mean, not for him.
This is a burp.
Sorry, this mess makes me gassy. And so we would do this weird shit. I remember for some reason, I don't know why. I gotta tell you this shit. Oh my god, I forgot about this. This is pretty bad. I remember I did not partake in this, but I had a better idea afterwards. But I did not partake in this. For some reason, they saw on TV someone sticking cow shit in the mailbox. Well, it was like a whole bunch of guys there, and someone come up with a great idea. Hey, let's shit in a paper bag and stick it in the mailbox. And we're all dudes like, yeah, let's shit in the paper bag. And you would think we was all stoned when we come up with this shit. No, it's completely sober. And so, but they had no paper bags. What did they want to use in the yard? They just laid out a piece of saran wrap and everyone started squatting above their own little pieces of saran wrap. Trying to shit. Not one person can shit in front of anybody. It was basically a whole bunch of grunts and farts. I'm standing there on the porch like, the fuck is happening right now?
The reverse of a circle jerk.
Everyone was trying to shit in their own saran wraps. It was fucked up.
Don't look at me, Billy.
That was pretty fucked up, and I come up with the idea of using something else instead of that, and it was basically just cow manure. And apparently, this person was very mean to this person, and apparently, I don't know why he didn't like this old man. And I figured out he's a very nice guy because I had some balls on me, and I'll tell you why. It's kind of weird. He's a nice guy, and I have some balls.
And he liked them.
What happened was, in the middle of the night, we had a whole bunch of people was there this time. A lot of people, actually. And they all dared us. They dared us. It was 3 dudes, me and 2 other dudes.
Wait, is this finishing the poop story?
Well, no, no one ever pooped in the saran wrap.
Oh, so it never happened?
No, it didn't happen.
Like, you didn't get any further
Ain't nobody pooping in the saran wrap in front of everybody. In broad daylight in front of the yard. God, can you imagine if somebody just drove by? A whole bunch of small kids trying to take shit in saran wraps. The fuck? I mean, it's almost like someone trying to take a shit in a balloon. Like, what are these kids doing? Well, we're trying to grow a garden.
Like a really creepy pedophile.
Yeah.
Like Herbert the Purpose, like, oh my god.
Yeah. And this is the same night that the cops were called after they done all this shit. And before I go into the other one, how I knew that man was actually really nice, what happened was when the cops were called, 2 state troopers started coming down this. It was on a long dirt driveway. Really long. A whole bunch of houses lived down there. Well, after all the other kids saw these cops come down with their spotlights, they all jumped in these thicker bushes, like these bushes with thorns on them.
Thorny bushes.
Yeah, thorny bushes. They all jumped in there. I said, "Fuck it, I'm wearing sandals." So what do I do? Sober as hell, and I mean I'm a child. I
You're like,
was
what, 12?
Yeah, I was sober, and I literally get behind a bicycle and just squat. I'm staring right at this officer. He's got the spotlight pointed at my face, and I'm staring right back at him, just smiling.
Bicycle.
Yeah, it's a bicycle, not a motorcycle, a bicycle. And the cop just looks at me, and I'm looking right at him, making eye contact with him, and I'm literally doing as I'm talking to you because Cody's watching me do it. And the cop just, I don't know what he does. He just turns to his partner. And then he just kind of drives off.
This kid's fucking stupid.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to leave this man alone. I mean, you got to admit, at 12 years old, I had a goatee and everything. So I looked like an old homeless man.
But tiny.
So I guess they didn't want to mess with me. But
tiny little homeless man.
But what happened is that the other one that I met, that guy that for some reason nobody liked, it's kind of like a neighbor, like, oh, he's evil, don't go in his yard, and that's all the shit these kids always messed up with.
Like the Monster House guy?
Yeah, just about. He actually reminded me of him a lot after I seen that movie. And what happened is that they dared three of us to go up there with a broken skateboard and ask for duct tape to see if we can fix it. Here's the thing. There's three of us. One is really big, really fat guy. One's kind of medium, and I was really skinny at the time. Well, here's the story we got straight. We went up there to the front door and knocked on the door with the broken skateboard in hand. This is a gravel driveway. Gravel. Ain't nothing but around gravel. Ain't no hard top, no nothing. We proceed to ask the man if he can fix our skateboard because all three of us was riding down the road to get home. And without this skateboard, we cannot make it home together.
And also, didn't you tell him you were all brothers? And
yeah,
honestly, this was
they're
like a
all
bar
different
joke.
ethnicities.
Yeah, one black guy, one Mexican, one white kid.
Yeah. And I told them we're brothers. I mean, and I said, we're brothers, and we're all riding on this one skateboard going down this gravel driveway to go home. And without this skateboard, we can't go home. Well, the guy, as soon as the old man says, he looks at me confused, and he says, well, come on in. Well, the black guy takes off immediately.
He knew what was up.
He knew what was up. He was like, oh, shit. He just booked it. And he's like, he's all right. I said, I guess he's going to run home. He's like, okay. Well, I kid you. This is a real story, I swear. And we go inside. And then it's me and the Mexican dude. He's the bigger dude. And he said, we'll come downstairs. We was getting ready to go in the man's basement. What happened? That Mexican dude said, fuck this, out.
Again.
Yep.
Knew what was up.
Yep, knew what was up. I go downstairs. Everybody's thinking I'm getting raped in there.
Now, mind you, both of your friends probably were really smart because in any other situation, every parent would have been like, no, Steve, run. Don't go in this strange man's basement.
I went in the basement, and that man proceeds to fix that skateboard with all his tools. You know why? Because that man hand carves fiddles.
Did he really?
Yes, he hand carved fiddles, violins, and guitars.
Oh, wow.
Makes them by hands. I kid you not. I learned a lot from that man. Come walking out with a brand new skateboard. That guy fixed it completely up. And all of my friends in the ditch just like giggling, dude, you alright? We was about to call the cops. I'm like, what are you going to call the cops for? And then we brought it
back
home.
With a fully intact skateboard and anus.
Yeah. That is true.
So not all people that live in basements are bad.
Unless that's the reason I black out a lot and shit like that's happened.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, what's that warning you do?
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. Sorry, people.
Fuck it.
That's right after the trigger warning. It's like, oh, God.
You're already triggered. Sorry.
Yeah, shit's like that closely happened to me a lot. So I have a right to talk about shit like that.
Grandpa Howard?
Yeah, let's not. But I remember another time it's probably the same night that I went and got that skateboard fixed in that stranger's house. Nice old man. I never helped him mess with them again. He's a really good dude. But I remember we went to the house, and it was back then where phone cranking, what's that called? I can't remember.
Crank calling.
Yeah, crank calling. That
calling.
was really big back then, and it was like really fun.
Back in my day,
and that wasn't too damn long ago. But I remember we'd all just call. I remember one guy actually was having like fake phone sex with an old lady, but she was like digging it. She was going for it.
I'm 80% sure that was my great grandma.
Yeah, she was like, my husband's home, and then hung up the phone. And then I would call people, and then we used to do that stupid one. It's a really cheesy one, where you would call somebody and be like, who you going to call? Excuse me? Who you going to call? Who am I going to call? Yeah, Ghostbusters! And it was stupid. And then I would call somebody at a restaurant, be like, hey, is that Maggie over there sitting in the left corner? And be like, Maggie? And like, who is this? And I'm like, ask that woman if they're Maggie. Then you hear them on the phone. Ma'am, you Maggie? And just, it's stupid ones like that. And I remember one kid took it way too far. He was kind of new at this, and he's actually new in school, so he used to he hanged out with us a lot. And he happened to be there that night, and he took it way too damn far. He got on the phone, and then one of the other buddies thought it'd be funny to call someone else from school and prank call them. Well, that person answered.
So a student?
It's another student, and It was a female student.
Okay.
That person answered, and immediately, in the most scariest, deepest voice he could muster, just starts screaming, I'm going to rape you, I will find you, and kill you. And then hang up the phone and proceed to laugh. As soon as he did that, we all looked at each other like, holy shit. And then just fucking started running. It was like rats leaving a house that was on fire. We're like, we're out. And then that boy proceeded to have to go to court. They had to be separated in school. The police was involved. Police came to the house immediately.
So I could just imagine, like, all of you guys like, Ghostbusters,
yeah.
Here you go, Timmy. And then he'd do that, and he'd be like, guys, why aren't you laughing?
Yeah, it was like exactly what that moment. I went to someone else's house that night. We ended up getting rides somewhere. We're like, we need to get the fuck out. And then every time they asked us, we all impressed? I was like, I don't know what the fuck happened.
No, I wasn't even there.
We was all having a good fucking time.
Smashing mailboxes.
Yeah. I know a person, not me, that used to steal signs. He didn't steal signs. He never stole signs, but it happened to be in the newspaper, and I didn't. I didn't do it, but I can't even word that right. The fuck. This person that I know didn't do it. He was asked to help because they were too weak to pull it out of the ground, because that person, when they were younger, was really good and their back wasn't broken. And basically pull a whole sign out of the ground to the point to where there's so many covering his room that you could see no more drywall, and the floor was covered and almost the ceiling, to the point to where it's in the newspaper saying, hey, all the signs are disappearing. Where are they going?
Yeah.
But it was not me.
It was just like
that is illegal.
That was just like when.
But you would think the person that did it, they paid taxes too, technically. So wouldn't them signs belong to them?
We're not going into political shit.
Like in cop cars, half that cop car belongs to me.
All right, old man, quit. But that's just kind of like similar to. I believe that same person talked to me today, not Steve, and was telling me about how they had a habit of stealing signs or stealing statues, and I said it's not a habit if you just did it once.
Yeah.
But it's not Steve.
I would do it again. I wouldn't do it again.
You think he would do it again?
No, when I was younger, I was probably younger than 12 years old. Me and my stepbrother was walking through the woods.
He's not admitting to anything.
Yeah, not admitting to anything. But me and my stepbrother was walking through the woods, and we happened upon a large stone statue of an owl.
Something.
Something. And we thought it was hollow, so we could carry it, because we thought that'd be a good gift for our father.
If they decided to do that.
If we decided to do that. And we ended up picking it up, but we already had it in our hands by the time a car was coming down the driveway.
Hypothetically.
We was like, hypothetically, holy shit. What are we going to do? We can't be caught with this in our hands, so we hypothetically climbed a hill with the hypothetical stone owl in a shirt like a hammock, like carrying an injured soldier up a hill. And hypothetically, the man asked us if we was okay, and we said yes. We just fell down the hill. Proceeds to realize hypothetically his owl is gone. Chased us up that hill, and we disappeared. And ever since still to this day, hypothetically, my father has that stone owl.
Hypothetically.
That was a very complicated sentence to hypothetically say.
Yeah. the other person that this happened to, you're welcome that we covered for you. But
yeah, I think everyone that listens to this probably knows.
Well, yeah, but I don't want this coming back on you.
Yeah,
that motherfucker's crazy. Although he is hiding from the government.
He is hiding from the government now. So I used to work with him during the summer, and he used to ask me about that. Do you know any kids that maybe was hypothetically stealing an owl? I was like, I have no idea, but them kids above us are assholes. So. That was a good man, though. I would return his owl if I knew where he is today. But he's hiding from the government because they think he thinks that he come up on some secret undercover conspiracy shit, and now the government's after him. Like, I seen him, like, I don't know, 10 years later, driving down the road in a car, and he freaked out because my phone made noises. That's not on, is it? Like, no. I mean, it's a phone, so it's always on. So the fuck? And he saw a helicopter and booked into the woods. I mean, hell, all I know, he can actually be after the government, so, yeah. So that was basically, and I had the cops called on me once before. I was getting shit-faced drunk when I was younger at a friend's house with another friend, and we was on the side of the road, a main highway, and we were so drunk, I come up with a great idea of, it's the middle of fucking night, there's no cars on the road, so this wasn't dangerous. Technically.
It still was, but there was
no
witness.
We would cover these tennis balls in lighter fluid and light them on fire and then hit them across the road. And they'd bounce. Just balls of fire, like 15, 20 balls of fire bouncing across the highway. You would think that wouldn't get no attention.
Balls of fire,
yes. And I remember a cop come up to us like, oh shit, and everybody just threw their shit into the grass, tall grass. And what are y'all doing? What was that big light I saw? And he's like, I'm just trying to light my cigarette. And he goes, what are y'all names? And we're just sitting there quietly. And then I thought, hey, I can get us out of here. While being blind drunk. And I think I was 20. I think I turned 21 or I was 20.
I think I don't know. I think you were underage.
Yeah, I was definitely underage.
Yeah.
And
you were 21 yet.
Blind drunk, underage. Cop didn't go. I had a full fucking beard, so you really can't tell without looking at my license. And I proceed, I couldn't see the cop, but the cop can see me. And I said, wait a minute, do I know you? And he goes, no, I don't think we know each other. I said, I went to school with you. And I said, how you doing, man? I said, I was trying to, because he sounded young. And I told him I went to school with him and everything like that. And when he shined a light in his own face, he was an old cop. I was like, oh shit. He goes, I don't think I went to school with you, boy. And I was like, no, you didn't. And then the other guy proceeded to ask if we can just go back inside.
Yeah.
I don't think he could have got us because we was on private property on the edge of the highway. So maybe not.
He probably could, but it would just been more shit to do. So he probably was just like,
a whole bunch of kids lighting tennis balls on fire and throwing it down the highway with badmintons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably not the best.
So that's basically all the shit. I've had like 17 more, but I really think we don't have time to say everything.
You really funk?
Yeah, that pill's kicking in, so it's starting to make me really sleepy. So I'm starting to slur.
You always slur.
It's lisping, not slurs.
Well, I was always a good kid. As far as I can remember, I've never had the cops called on me for any reason. Nor was I at a situation where the cops were called on me. Well, not on me personally. I witnessed a beating. That was pretty much it.
Who getting beaten?
My ex. By his own mom.
Oh.
Yeah. God rest her soul. Anyway, that played out. But, that's beside the point.
Did she die?
Yeah, she did.
Your ex's mother?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. I laughed
She was in the news. Yeah, she was in the news. Anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah, no, she was a nice lady. Anyway, beside the point. The only
I don't really care for her exes, even though it's been like 12 years.
Yeah.
Still don't like it.
Yeah. He's just a jealous person. Let's not get into that. I am
jealous.
Let's not get into that.
I'm the most jealous man.
Probably. Anyway, so...
A bug can land on your shoulder and I'd be mad.
Family members of mine, that I will not say whom, decided to be drunks early on in life.
Not me.
And one of them has been a recovered drunk since then. They don't do it anymore.
They can't drink water and then they get sick.
No, that particular one has to continue to drink, or else I think he'll die.
It's in his blood. Yeah. Bud Light is his blood.
Yeah, it's in his blood now. He's part.
That's why he keeps all his knowledge in the cans.
Part vodka, part Bud Light. But anyway, so basically, it was a set of brothers. The oldest was about 15. The youngest was 11. And so they decided to get into their father's stash of beer and load up his truck, their father's truck, and take it to town. So they decided to do this. Now back in the, let me see, it would have been
It was back.
80s now.
It was around back then where you can buy a house, a TV, and a car all for $300.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But again, no political shit.
Yeah.
But so it was in the 80s, and so they made it to the only grocery store in town, mind you, in a small town. It was the only grocery store, and also the sheriff's office not that far from it. Other than that, not their best idea. So they decided to hang out in this parking lot like country kids do, and get drunk. And so the oldest decided that since he was driving, he was going to try to do a burnout. He proceeded to drop the transmission out of that truck. And while doing so, there was a cop in the same fucking parking lot, is what I understood, just sitting there. And so he goes to arrest them, these delinquents. And the oldest gives in immediately because he's just a good kid. He just had bad decisions. And I'm pretty sure the little kid talked him into it. But then they went over to the passenger side, and the little kid was asked to get out of the vehicle, and he was just like, no, I'm not going to get out of the vehicle because you're going to get me for drunk in public. And the cop opened the door, and a beer bottle rolled out and rolled down the hill. And he goes, do you know how much time you can get for resisting arrest? And he was like, fuck. So he got out. So their father had to come pick them up from jail at 15 and 11 years old after he got off a third shift, brought him home, and then proceeded to watch his wife pour all of his beer down the drain.
I would whip those kids' ass.
I'm pretty sure they got a pretty
I
bad
guarantee
beating.
they did. Probably with a big old ass belt.
Yeah, they did. As far as I know, that's the only one that anybody's ever been caught for in my family that I know of. I don't think any of the rest of them have any issues with cops, but could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the stories I've heard.
Yeah. So there's probably so many I'm not even going over right now.
Yeah.
But I will say that I found some online. There was just a few examples that I seen, and I thought that would be nice to finish out this podcast.
That's a whole bunch of dumb shit.
Oh, yeah. So, like, police in Ossining, I don't know how to say that.
The hell is that at?
New York.
Oh.
Were called to a mini-mart where they found Blake Leak, 23, trying to break in. They chased him through the streets until both cops took a tumble. That's exactly what it says.
Took a tumble down, mate.
Seizing the opportunity, Leak sought refuge on the grounds of a large building. The building was the Sing Sing maximum security prison, where he was promptly nabbed by a guard.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna hide here.
I'm gonna hide in the prison.
Yeah, they'll never find me.
That's some stupid ass shit.
Yeah. For a trio of drug thieves, it was their lucky day. They broke into a home in Silver Springs, Florida, of course, and discovered...
drug thieves? Like, they steal drugs?
Yeah.
Like prescriptions?
I don't know. It just says drug thieves. Do you want me to ask them?
Well, that's kind of weird. Like, yeah, I don't sell drugs. What do you do for a living?
I
steal drugs. The fuck, man?
You're the worst of the worst. But anyway, they discovered 3 jars, or what they thought was 3 jars, of cocaine. They took it home and snorted the contents. That's when they discovered that the jars were in fact urns, and that they were snorting the cremains of the victim's husband and 2 dogs.
That is awful.
Yeah. You snorted my hubby! And my puppy!
You would think if they were really good drug robbers, that
they could tell the difference.
They could tell the difference between someone's body ashes or actually
what kind of
powder.
shit-ass cocaine are you snorting? Not saying that that's...
Flaky.
Flaky. Ew. This one smells a little charcoal.
This smells like your grandpa.
Bring Your Child to Work Day is a long-honored tradition that allows children, to see, sorry, I yawned, what goes on in the business.
You're making me yawn.
Sorry, you didn't have to say anything. They wouldn't have fucking known.
I don't give a fuck.
That allows children to see what goes on in the business world, while also getting the chance to watch their parents ply their trade. One crook brought his young son along with him on a job, which happened to be robbing a pet store. He was caught soon after, minus something important. His son.
It's like,
he left his kid at the pet shop.
It's like that one video I saw. It was actually on Facebook, and this man come in there with his little kid, and took a whole bunch of chips and drinks and just a whole bunch of shit and just ran out the door. I breathe in weird. And the kid was just standing there with a whole bunch of drink because he was handing the kid stuff too. And the kid was standing there just like putting everything back. And as the father was brought back by the police,
the kid's just like, we can't pay for this.
We can't pay for this,
we
Daddy.
Broke. As two men waited in line at the coffee shop to pay their bill, a third cut in front of them. He threw a drink at the clerk and demanded all the money from the till. Temporarily surprised, the men quickly recovered and handcuffed the crook. Apparently, in his rush, the criminal did not notice that they were police officers in full fucking uniform.
Where was this at?
It doesn't say where, but I'm assuming probably Florida or New York.
Florida or New York?
It's probably maybe California. I don't know, but I mean those motherfuckers pretty dumb. But who cuts in front of two cops and is like, "Give me all your money"? It's just like, are you fucking stupid? Is this
somebody
a joke?
that wants a free meal?
Recently, a woman in Fresno, California, see, stupid people, was stopped.
What the hell was that?
I yawned.
She's over here,
look
like
yawning.
she's like choking, like Darth Vader's choking her from far away. But that's what her yawns look like. Looks like some kind of evil shit's happening to her. You think she's fucking possessed every time she's yawning. Her eyes roll back and she's like,
I'm just tired. Anyway.
We do this podcast late at night.
Because it's his fault.
Yeah.
Recently, a woman in Fresno, California was stopped at a DUI checkpoint for being soused.
What does soused mean?
Drunk.
Oh, thank you.
Ever helpful, she offered up this info. My husband's right behind me, and he's even drunker than I am.
What, did they let her go?
Thank you, ma'am. We will proceed to talk to you.
It'll be even more fucked up. Ma'am, your husband's dead. Oh my god.
Oh no. Jeffrey.
Her husband's probably the coke stealers.
Yeah. I got the ashes. Anyway.
I got all the ashes.
When an attempted robbery at a Lowe's home improvement store went awry, Milton J. Hodges fled across the street and jumped a fence right into the Cypress Cove nudist resort and spa. As the Orlando, fucking Florida, Sentinel pointed out, as one of the only folks wearing clothes, Hodges was easily spotted by police.
Well, I would have got butt-ass naked as soon as that shit happens. What do you mean, fucking Florida? What if you...
Orlando.
If you have anyone listens from Florida, I'm so sorry. My wife
Dayton,
is
you know
so mean.
for a fucking fact.
Yeah, I
Because,
know.
I mean...
We've been there a few times. There is a lot of mean people there.
They had a trend.
They make fun of my accent. Like, I had a fucking accent.
They had a trend on Facebook that was, you type in your birth date in Florida, man, and you look at the top headline that went with your birthday from Florida. It was some stupid shit a Florida man done on your birthday.
Mine's probably eat a tourist.
Eat a
Yeah,
tourist?
like a bath salt guy. He ate someone's face off.
Yeah.
You know when I heard this shit, and I'm probably not the only one, when they was talking about on the news this person doing bath salts. When I was taking a shower the other day and we had some bath salts, I'm like, you telling me this man ate some of this shit and then went to proceed to eat someone's face off? I hadn't used it in a long time until someone explained to me, no, it's a drug they do. It's not the bath salts you put in the bath water.
Well, that was like Steve was taking a bath. Like, not too long ago, and Titan decided to come in and drink some of it. And he was like, no, don't let him drink it. He might eat my face.
And also, it is a laxative. If you put, like, the regular bath, not the flavored, not the scented, not the...
Scented?
The flavored. The scented bath salts, don't, the other shit, if you drink the other shit, it's also a laxative.
My mom used to do that. She'd get candles and say, get that flavor. It's my favorite.
Yeah, that flavor smells so good.
It's like, you eating it, Mama? It's the worst possible time to faint in the middle of robbing a bank. But that's what happened to a Beaver Creek, Ohio thief. The teller called 911 and asked for medics, but you have to applaud the man's stick-to-itiveness. While the ambulance was en route, the suspect handed a note to the teller demanding all her cash.
Please give me.
When I wake up, this best be in bags.
It's gotta be big. Like they're not gonna call the fucking cops.
You let me take a nap, I'll get right back up and go back to what I was doing.
You know, it'd be a really fucked up way.
What?
You be robbing someone's house while they're not there, and then have to take a shit and forget to flush, and that's how they catch you.
Actually, I think that happened before.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm pretty sure that did. Mitchell Deslat walked into
Deslat?
I guess that's how
Deslat.
Walked into a Baton Rouge, Louisiana hotel and asked the clerk for a room. The clerk wasn't a clerk. He was a state trooper. And the hotel was actually a state trooper station. That's when Deslat was arrested and charged with driving while intoxicated.
I swear to drunk I'm not God.
Yeah, Ossifa.
We can have time for one more.
Okay, so last one is Graham Price of South Wales ripped off the bank where he worked. But he wasn't completely duplicitous. He left a note in the safe. Borrowed £7 million. Signed Graham Price.
Are you shitting me?
This motherfucker left.
It's like
British people are so nice.
It's like a stupid villain, man. You know, like, I'm gonna rob this bank, and then he like leaves his calling card. It's not like back then, like in the Western times, you can write your name on a fucking side of the board. This were the Billy twins, and then they never find you. But no, they're gonna know who the Billy twins today is.
Yeah, they got Facebook.
Yeah.
Got Facebook, Twitter, Insta.
There's a whole bunch of stupid people out there. Just remember, if you're gonna do something stupid, you might as well
just don't do it.
You gotta be tough.
No.
You gotta be tough if you're gonna be dumb.
No, if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough.
Yes, I live that by that.
What?
I live that by that. You gotta be smart if you're gonna talk like me.
And medicine really kicks in, huh?
Yeah, that medicine's starting to kick in. So I'm starting to feel like, I know that makes no sense, but if you was on the same medicine that I have right now, you'd understand. But I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight and be right and bushy-tailed early in the morning for work. Yay.
Bushy-tailed? You ain't never been fucking bushy-tailed.
I'm going to go stand 10 hours at work while working my shoulder to death while I'm slowly going to be paralyzed, and no one seems to give a shit.
I do.
But my wife and my family, so thank you so much. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm just frustrated at life right now.
So, if nothing else, if you can't donate to the Patreon for any other reason, donate to help my husband be able to walk.
There's better shit people can donate to. Like,
Than
people
you
that
walking?
can't walk, like right now. People that are not born to walk. Like, I've already walked, so at least I know.
What you gonna donate to them if they can't walk, Steve? If somebody that was born with...
Bionic legs! I already learned how to walk, so maybe I can do it again.
Maybe I can do it again.
Yeah, and before we go, I do have to say, we finally, I don't know if we talked about this on a podcast, but we finally found this video I've been wanting to put on the Facebook page forever, and it finally come up, and I finally got it, and I downloaded it, and I have it. It is an old video of my two brothers they made when they were younger. It's Dr. Twatson.
Yeah.
And if just
Dr. Twatson's.
Dr. Twatson's talking
Yes.
about where the clitoris is.
Yes.
They know where it's at.
They are vagina enthusiasts.
Yes. So please go to our
this day.
Facebook page. Please go to our Facebook page and just watch that video. And share it around because they would like to see how many likes they can get on that one video.
I'm pretty sure that we have multiple videos that we could post on there of
Yeah,
them.
we have a whole bunch. And we also have a crap load of Snapchats with us and our family being really stupid.
Yeah.
That shouldn't see the light of day. So we might end up posting on theirs too whenever she has time.
Yeah, why not?
But, again, thank y'all so much for the love and support y'all give us, and thank you so much. And the funny thing is that you mentioned Florida. We have listeners almost every state but Florida.
Weird.
Yeah, we need to advertise over there, so let's get us over there.
Come on, you crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you.
Come on, dicks.
You gator wrestling assholes.
But they got Disney World and Universal.
Yeah, I mean, those are awesome. I love
Universal
Florida.
is fucking awesome. And Florida, I've never been there, but we went for a honeymoon and again for Universal.
Yeah.
But as soon as you step out of the airport, it's like, oh, it's nice. And as soon as you step out, it's like, it's so fucking hot there.
I love it.
It is awful. I hated it. Even the rain made you sweat.
When I retire, that's where we will live.
No, I don't know why even old people. Well, I guess they complain they're cold all the time.
Exactly.
I'm hot natured. I'm hot in winter. I have to. I have to take my coat off when I'm outside.
That's why you chill out in the pool all day.
Fuck it. Even the pool made you sweat. The water was never cold. It was always hot.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's not fun. But again, like I said, if y'all need to spell Virginia, it is Virginia.
With an I and an R.
Yeah, with F-A-G-N-A.
You say F-A?
V-A. Well, I guess
A vagina.
I live in vagina.
I live in vagina.
If I had to spell the word vagina, it would be with an F, because that's how I say it. Say vagina.
Vagina.
I say vagina.
You do.
Oh, let me touch that vagina.
And you also spelled country wrong. He put country. It was C-O-N-T-R-Y, and he just muttered to himself, I guess I'm not going to help the kids with that English.
Yeah, so whenever we have kids, I am not helping them with English. It's like, where did you learn this? From your father? Yes, I did.
Yeah, he's fucking stupid.
But like I said, again, thank y'all so much for the love and support you give us. Please visit our Facebook page, and it's Laughing at Strangers, of course.
Yeah.
And see that video. Try to give it some likes. Share it. I'd like to see how many likes they get. They would tickle them to death as soon as they see it.
Yeah.
And if people like it a lot, I'm going to see if I can convince them to do that YouTube page. We're going to start trying to do live videos of our podcast. I feel like they'll like that even more. Instead of just listening to our voices, they can actually see my reactions on my face.
You can look at our ugly mugs.
Yeah, and stare at me and make fun of me. So, yeah.
And me.
And plus, I noticed the other time I was here, I said, please comment and review our podcast. And I don't know how to read comments on the podcasts that people leave. So if y'all are leaving comments, I can't read them.
But thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Either way.
Yeah, but if we do it on YouTube, I can read those. And again, thank you so much. And until next time, see ya.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Yeah, it's still recording.